Hello, welcome to the Age of Listening channel. Today I'm going to be showing the Pagan Tarot. I've got the miniature version today. I will be buying the large one. I can't wait to do a review of that. But today is about helping those that are wanting to or are still learning tarot. If you've looked at my channel, I go deeply into the symbols because there are deep spiritual truths within these cards. It's not, you know, a lot of people can say, oh, it's, you know, divination and fortune telling. But for me, it's actually navel gazing into the deep concepts of hermetic principles. That's a mouthful. But Scarabeo is a company that seems to, I've always found, follow the Waite principle and closely have, well, they have connections very closely, figuratively or graphically, to Smith's drawings. So that's why I kind of do tend to like and have a lot of time for Scarabeo. Anyway, I'm going to be getting the larger one soon. It'll be borderless, can't wait. The backs I think are slightly different, but it's so wee and it's beautiful and it's great to take on a journey. I'm fed up of taking 3 large heavy boxes, so I'm trying to get all of my favourites in miniature version. But anyway, let's go straight on. Okay, so yeah, it just comes in a little box. Nothing exciting, no point in showing that too much to you. But I'm going to move the camera up. Okay, so let's get going. I love this. I absolutely love this deck. And so here we have the Fool's Journey. And she's going off into the abyss, and the Fool's card is all about jumping into that abyss. And here it's a perfect example. Her arms are outstretched. She doesn't know what's going, she can only see what's sort of directly in front of her, but she's wearing white. So this is denoting that spiritual journey. She's jumping into the spiritual rabbit hole. Where will it take her? She does not know. Okay. But here she is with the Magician card. We have the moon here. It's a bit more witchy, but we've got the moon, we've got a cauldron, I guess, for water. We've got the sort of dagger for swords, the pentacles, and I guess she's sitting on air. there's not air, earth. There's definitely earth all around her. She sits in the forest. So she knows that she's got everything below and above to help her on this journey we call life. There is a storyline that's woven into this, and I really quite like this storyline because it helps those who have trouble remembering the symbols. It kind of helps you along. So this is what I'm going to say to it. So we've got the High Priestess, we've got the moon, we've got looks like her, so let's call it the higher self. She's in a small coven. It looks like a lovely little coven that's nice and homely, and I'm telling you this for a reason, but I wonder if she's about to outgrow it. But she's the High Priestess. She's kind of the big fish in the small pond. That's how I see it at the moment. She's the big fish in the small pond, but this is definitely the High Priestess. She's in a safe environment where she can go into the deep state of meditation and receive what she needs to be the High Priestess. In her normal life, here we have the Empress card. It's a nurturing atmosphere with different generations. You've got sort of the, there's a goddess in the background. I wish I knew what that was. I should take the time to look it up, but anyway. So you've got this nurturing home life that is her Empress, her place of safety and growth. And probably that is Venus. Probably it's Venus. And here we see her in a coven. She's visiting a coven. She's still got her coat on her sleeve, and she's attending this more sort of stricter coven, I suppose, with its hierarchy, and lots of rules, lots of regulations, lots of stability, but probably not, you know, the same as it felt originally with her little homegrown coven that she'd grown up with. So here's a little bit more legality and social order, but she doesn't like it. There's too much order, there's too much restrictions, and it looks as they're burning books. She's actually horrified at this, and I'm going to get the magnifying glass actually. And so we can see here that she's horrified. She's just on this side here. She's not happy about it. And sorry, I can't get it plainer, but you've got here the coven. Oh, that's better. You've got the coven leader. And so, yeah, she's not happy about that, and she wishes to leave. And I really particularly love this deck because it's kind of truer to how I feel that the Hierophant is about, you know. But you have to go to my separate look at the symbols to understand why. And here we have the Lovers card. Again, I love it because here the Lovers are a choice card. I mean, yeah, they're a choice card. They're illuminating to a choice. And she's got here her family, or this quite way out kind of strict cult is kind of, you'll see in the storyline, to her anyway, that's probably how she views it. And she thinks she has to choose. Now, she actually doesn't, but she thinks she does, between a loving family and her spiritual walk. Yeah. So, but at this stage, she doesn't realise there's a, you know, there's A and B, and she doesn't realise there's a C option that she can go for. But she makes the choice, and let's see where it goes. Now, here we have, going back a little bit to normal life. So this is the Chariot card. She's got to pick, how is she going to view, you know, the card's broken down. So is she going to go, oh, you know, cuss, 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 this always happens to me, what am I going to do, panic, panic, panic? Or is she going to be spiritual about it and go, do you know what, I'm going to be positive about this. I'm going to believe my knights in shining armour, or my knightesses in shining armour, are going to come and help me, and all is good. So she's making a choice how she's going to behave, what her attitude is going to be, where her spirit is going to lie. And so here she is, she's on the phone, she's broken down, but it doesn't matter because two people have come to help her. Now, slightly different here with the Strength card. It's not my favourite. You've still got her in white, you've still got the roses, which indicate, the flowers, which indicate self-love, but it is a little bit kind of, instead of harnessing the strength, but you could say that she's welcoming in the natural side of herself. That's possibly how I might look at it. I'm just looking in the book actually and see what it says. What does it say here? Strength card. Oh, come on, Rachel, find it. It'll be here. Trust, patience, peace, adaptability, manifestation of strength, not power. Okay. But I mean, this is about harnessing your inner strength and also being in control of it in a loving way. But you know, I could see I could sort of work with that, put it that way. Here we have the Hermit, and here, you know, she's going into hard work. She's still on her spiritual quest, as we saw in the Fool card, and so she's burning the candle at both ends by the look of it, sitting up late at night, and she's doing that work that she spiritually needs to do. Which way will, you know, is life predetermined? Is it fate? You know, or do we make our own fate? So here she's looking at her star chart on the computer, trying to decide, you know, who's really ruling my life? Do I want to rule my life? So that's really good. This, with the Justice card, bit of Karma card here. This is indicating where three come together, where two or more come together in my name, it will be done. And so she's gathering people together to help in her study because she wants to learn. And what has that got to do? Well, I just see the Justice card as you get out of life what you put in, really. So yeah, that kind of works. Now we go back to the spiritual aspect of her, the Hanged Man. She's about over in the distance. You can just about see that there are hanged men hanging by their ankles, by the way, just to let you know. And they're doing a ceremony, one in which she's about to experience. That's the initiation. So yeah, going and looking at life in a different way. Now we have Death card, and with the Death card, if you know what I'm talking about and you remember what I've already discussed, you can see the butterfly here. So something has to die in order for something beautiful to come from it. She's just finished her initiation. She's hung upside down and she's been welcomed in. The old her is gone and the new her has arrived. Now we have the Temperance card. Sorry about this. So here she's having to learn that balance, master work and master her spiritual aspect, the spiritual side of her. And she's developing some equilibrium and flow between all of the different aspects of life. And she's twirling the infinity symbol with her finger there. But I think there's a sense of peace and joy in this card. I quite like that one. Now here we have the Devil card. She's haunted. She's looking at her family and it's haunting her. So she's doing what she wants to do, but it's not making it fun. It's entrapping her. It's taking the tarnish off of, it's tarnishing what she's being involved in, because she's not really being true to herself here. But that's, do you remember I said to you, that's because she thought it was A or B. She didn't realise there was a C option. There is a C option. There's always a C option. And the Tower moment comes for her where, you know, we've seen that she's already been having doubts. She's missing her family. And then there is a, I can't say the word because I'll get in trouble. In fact, I should have turned around and done a disclaimer. I'll have to write one up in before it. But she now realises that, you know, the part of the the particular group that she's with, it requires, as you can see. And she turns her back on it and she realizes, I've had enough. You know, I thought I knew what was right for me, and this isn't it. Great card. And because she acts, because there is that Tower moment, we can see here that she's now in the stars. The Star card. She's connecting to her higher self. She's realised there was a C plan, another path, and she's finally gotten peace. She's finally realised that she can nourish herself and do her, have her be, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Being in her calling at the same time. She can have that balance. And here we have the moon, and she's offering up, I think it's like I think it's a gem and a sword. So I think that's what it is. Let me have a look. No, it does look like a stone. But so here she is, now dwelling on what she needs to do. What does she need to ruminate on? Lovely. And she's made her decision, most likely. She's come out of it, she's had experience, and she's having a good day. Really, basically, it doesn't need to be said more than that. She goes into deep reflection. Judgment card is about ascending, and she's deciding to ascend. You know, what made her make the decision that she made when she was at the Lovers card? What made her think that that was the right thing to do? And so she does a bit of past life regression, and because she wishes to ascend. The World card. This is where she's seeing or feeling. These are all different elements, the 4 different elements, by the way. And she's feeling kind of on fire. In fact, it looks like she's found a lover. She's found a partner. All is good with the world. There's a full completion. And this is all very exciting. Now, I might do this as an A and a B, because otherwise it's going to be very long. But I'll see how I go. See if I can flick through. So here, yep, Ace of Cards. Let's do it like this. Let's do it super quick. And here's the real meaning, of course, of the 2, because 2 means union, opposites coming together. And here she's embracing both sides of herself. And that's where he's receiving from his higher self, from some form of divinity. He's receiving the duality. He's coming together just as she is. And that is why I love Lo Scarabeo. We have the fun of companionship and joy. Whoops. We have her with a certain amount of set thinking. She's been offered something else, but right now she's not really ready for it. So she's got to have, there's a different way to look at something, and she's got to work that out for herself. And here it is. Here he comes. So here she has, she's focusing what she's lost in the past, and he goes, how you doing? So he's offering 2 different ways to look at life, and probably she won't see it straight away, but eventually she will. She's just mourning what she's lost, disillusioned with what she's experienced. But she's here with, that's either her sister or a daughter, or who knows, but there's the child, and she's now looking, if you can see, she's now looking at one of those cups, and she's reminiscing and thinking, probably I do need to go back to my naivety and actually not be so battle scarred, and realise that there probably is another way to look at this situation. So now we have with the Seven of Cups, she's spent some time, kind of had some rest time, she's done her morning, and she's now kind of gone into dreamy kind of fantasy place. And you know, sometimes this card gets a rum call really, but she's fantasizing as long as she doesn't stay in that mode for too long. She's going back to basics. What is it I really, really want? And yeah, so lovely card. Then we have the Eight of Chalices. So this is where because she spent that time reminiscing and fantasizing and dreaming, she's made her decision. She's getting out of Dodge. So she's packed her bags and she's ready to go on to something better. Lovely. Can you see how easy it is to kind of read these cards? And that's why I do it alongside. So it looks like here she's in a shop and she's looking at them. She's put sort of her spiritual beliefs on a bit of a pedestal here. This card is very derisive or divisive, but you know, she's still on the peripheral. She's not found spirituality at a deep and meaningful level yet. But here we have 10 of Chalices, and this kind of comes at us from a point where it's a moment in time. She's kind of met her priest and she's in happy union with this beautiful feeling, this cup. So happy days really, but not for long. Not for long. I'm giving the storyline away. So you've got here element of chalices, or elemental of cups. The knight or the novice. The queen or the initiate. The elder or the king. Then we move over to the Ace of Wands. Self-explanatory. We saw that she'd packed her bags a bit. She's in two minds at the moment. What is she going to do? Oh. But she's forging ahead, and we can see here that all pistons are going again. There's ads in the newspaper. She's sending off letters. She's even got jewels over her letters to try, so that, can you see little gems on the letters, in order to try and, you know, give a bit of good luck to them. She's on fire. She's going for it. And she's getting married. Yep, getting married. All joined together. Having a great time for the moment. We've got obviously this kind of, you know, competition and fighting. And if you look very closely, there's one particular one that's not too happy. So everyone's having fun. They're going out probably searching for something, but there's a lady in orange right here, and she looks a bit peeved off. Doesn't get much better than that if I do that. Oh, yeah, anyway, take my word for it. Can't wait to get the larger cards, folks. And here's the victory card. They're all joining in together in one song in unison. Yeah, lovely, really. No more needs to be said. I think I probably need to clean this a bit better. That might be better. But there are battle aheads in heaven. Battles ahead in heaven. She's not going to give up, but it looks like they're struggling with bills and the difficulties in balancing the checkbook. But she's not going to give up, but it is a fight. It is a fight. But messages come through. Money's coming in. Don't know why really, but or she's sending money out. But energy is coming forwards and bills are being paid. Or yeah, I mean, she looks fairly happy, so I'm hoping that she's actually paying bills. But the battle is not over. It is not over. You've got actually witches of the coven kind of with their broomsticks over the car, kind of going, you will not take this car. But she's negotiating, and it looks like the guy has said, okay, leave it, it's okay, you don't have to take it away. So the battle's not yet finished. But you know, she really does feel like she's doing it on her own. She's not with somebody, he's not helping her, she's doing it on her own. She's the one that's picking up and doing all the work. Is there trouble in paradise, you may ask? So we've got Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, Initiative of Wands, and King of Wands. So the story now gets thicker and thicker. So we've got now onto the Ace of Swords. I'll do it this way because it's easier, I think. She's feeling stuck. She's not letting anyone in or anyone out. She's feeling at the end of her tether, and I've been there. I know how she's feeling. Are you guessing where it's going? She's been struggling on her own now, and she shut everybody off, as sometimes you have to do, especially when you get the Three of Swords. Something's happened and she's heartbroken. She's needing to take a break, take a rest, and do some heavy thinking. She's probably been doing a lot of too much thinking, so here she's having that break. It's not quite a hermit mode, but it's a stalemate. It's a point of which she's just got to work her head out, take some time aside to work her feelings out. They have been going through battles. Who's in control? Who is ruling this ship? Who's going to win the fight? You know, nobody wins, do they really? They may have lost the battle, but he looks a cad, you know, and in the same way they're fighting. And if you see on the bottom here, sorry, where her hand is, it should get better lighting. Sorry guys, I will sort it out. They've both got their hand on the last sword. Whoops, no, I'm putting it on top, aren't I? So moving to the 6 here. 6 of Swords. Kind of getting out of dodge. She set fire to it. She set fire as she leaves. She's taken her swords and going. The fight has been fought. And it's going hopefully onto calmer waters. She's taken what she needs and she's going. You know, you've got to listen to, I mean, I have to go into this in more in depth actually, but this can be a good card and a bad card, but I do explain it in the Element of Swords. It's not necessarily someone who's being sneaky. Sometimes you have to be sneaky. Sometimes you have to be clever. Is she going into this sneakily into this campsite to catch somebody doing something naughty? Possibly, because here's his hand with a new woman and she's feeling trapped. She's feeling horrid, and we've all been there. And she's crying herself to sleep. She's awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so can you see how wonderfully this deck has just played everything out? Here you've got an interesting thing where feels like she's being stabbed in the back here. Here she's actually breaking all of her swords. She's breaking all of her strength. She's falling apart. She's having a mental breakdown because swords, you know, mean thoughts, and she's kind of lost her shit. Anyway, so we've got Page, Knights, Queens, and Kings. Okay, I don't want to, you're not too interested in those, really, are you? I reckon. Let's get to the goodies. The last bit, guys. Hallelujah. Whoops, let me sort this out. So how is her story going to unfold? Well, it's going to get better. It's going to get really good. So now she's on her own again, but it's all going to work out. I love the fact it finishes with the earth signs. I love that. So here she's juggling. You can see here she's not even waving at 2 of her friends. She's got her coat and her bag on, her head is down, and she's got something else on her mind. And right now, you know, she's like a bull in charge mode because juggling is difficult. She's gone back to her family with this young child and her mother or grandma, sister could be there. She's gone back to cooperating, joining in, and they're using their powers, you know, with kind of 3 is your full expression of the element, and we know it's kind of earth element. She's getting her stuff together, and they're going to do it as a team. She's being careful with her money. She's looking at things. She's had such a shock over money issues. That's what broke the marriage up. And the guy skadoodled with another woman. Sorry guys, you're getting a bad rap. Women do it too, but you know what I mean. So here she is. She's being wise with her money. This can mean 2 things. He looks like he's about to pickpocket her, but she's going to the bank, and you know, is she going to ask for money? She's not feeling very optimistic. She's not feeling very powerful, but you know, she's kind of got to see the light, really. Stop being in a pity party and start to kind of go in there with her power. But he does look like he's about to pickpocket her, and she might feel like money's coming out into her purse and out in the same day. And we have the benevolent person and the person coming begging for money. Yeah, there is a time to give and to receive. And in this point, she's asking and he's giving, because he looks like he's smiling there. She's working really, really hard on her spells here. And it looks like she's trying to make this dead plant grow. It does look a bit like it's dying. But sometimes you have to pause and think about what you're doing. And it looks like she's taking time aside to kind of really work out what she needs to do. And she's practicing. And it looks like she's still in her nightdress. So has she been working a lot at this? And sometimes you need to kind of stop, go get dressed, have a shower, and put some makeup on and go again with fresh eyes. Yeah. But here she's in full work mode. It looks like she's starting up her own business, possibly. It looks like she's starting up her own business. Looks great. Things are looking good, working. And she's sitting pretty now. She's all that hard work has paid off. And she's the cat that's got the cream. And she deserves it. Here, not believing in things superficial. This card is all about looking at deeper things. Don't be superficial. And here she is looking at all the things that she owns. She's got a heap load of stuff. Does she need all of that stuff? Isn't it about going into something that's much more beneficial and much more worthwhile and what's real? And what's real is your spirituality, not earthly things. And then we end up with the page or the element of pentacles, the novice or the knight, the initiate or the queen, and the elder of pentacles. Now, what did I mean by everything all works okay, and what is it that kind of, what was the C option? Well, I'll find that and give it to you. Hold on. Okay, so she started out here with a coven that she'd probably outgrown. As I said, you know, big fish in a small pond. And so she kind of wanted to kind of go into the more established one. But it was all a bit too established with too many rules and regulations. So then she had to make a decision about, you know, parents or family versus her spiritual path, her practical life, in the sense, you know, day to day, and the loves of her life, or her spiritual path. And actually, you know, and that didn't end up very well, did it? Do you remember? They were all doing nudie things that she didn't like and feel comfortable with. But as we see with the Ten of Chalices, she finally finds it. You see the difference? Do you see that difference? Isn't it wonderful? Here you've got what looks like it could be her mother, her grandma or her mother. You've got different age groups. You know, the rainbow says that there is sort of, everyone is accepted. There's even children there, and you can see the small children there and pets around. It's more of a loving environment, a more loving place. And, you know, when people turn around and they say, oh, I don't like church, church is just rah, 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 rah. Well, you know, sometimes they can be, but possibly you're in the wrong church. Sometimes, you know, the little homely ones that we grew up with, sometimes, you know, we can end up going back to that. And, you know, you might want or need something that's a little bit free-flowing, that incorporates everything that you believe in. Does that make any sense to you guys? So you can see she didn't have to pick A or B. There was a third option, and that was this card. Yeah, I love that. Isn't it a lovely story? Do you like it, guys? Sorry for the long video, but I've I've had this deck, I've seen this deck being spoken about, and sometimes they don't really get it, they don't get the storyline, and possibly I've got it wrong. Possibly, you know, the owner who did this, she could possibly say, oh no, that isn't what I meant. But that's how I've clearly seen it. You just got to get the cards in order, really. Okay, sorry for it being so long, but it's a magical deck. Okay, bye.